The 2 Minute Hacks Podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hacks Podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. First, man, I want to start the show off by shouting out my dad and telling my dad and wishing my dad a happy 84th birthday, man. Shout out to my Ace Boone Coon, man, my dad, man. 84 years today. Man, but this your host with the most, man. Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. With our special guest this morning, man. Again, and when I tell you, man, I'm loving this dude, bro. I'm loving this dude. I'm loving what he brings. I'm loving what he brings to the table. The Michigan realtor and investor, Mr. Marcus Young. Man, shout out to Marcus. He over there getting his lighting right, y'all. I already know what time it is.
I'll be right there.
He over there getting his lighting right. Yeah, man. But shout out to Pops, man. Happy 84th birthday to him. We got a chance to go visit him yesterday on Memorial Day. And man, he is a real character, bro. So shout out to him. So we're continuing our conversation from yesterday. And I think, man, like, we're really starting to really dig into like these relationships. Like, we're really starting to really understand like who we are as individuals in the relationship, what it means to be in these relationships, how be it friendships, relationships, marriages, or whatever it is, man. Like, I think the topic that we're starting to really cover and dig deeper into is actually just showing us how to be not only the best version of ourselves, but really how to understand who our partner, mate, or friend, or whoever is becoming themselves. And so I think this is just a great opportunity, and I'm loving it, like the idea or the fact that we actually have the platform to be able to discuss and talk about these topics. Because a lot of these topics um, in a lot of relationships are kind of taboo. It's like we not gonna talk about this, and I think that instead of saying we not gonna talk about this, we ought to be saying, hey, let's talk about this.
Yes.
So you know that's why we opted out. And again, I felt like a lot of people, as it relates to certain topics, because in the beginning when we started this podcast over a year ago, I told Lavelle I didn't do certain topics that I wanted to stay away from, because I kind of consider them as well, kind of taboo as well, and I wanted to kind of stay away from them. But as I grew and understood that, hey, this is not, what we want to do. We want to be able to open up dialogue within households or within relationships, friendships, and people to get to start talking about some of these things that we that help heals relationships and friendships and all that stuff. Good morning, Miss Alfreda. So with that in mind, again, we're talking, this is kind of part two. What are some silent habits that destroy relationships or marriages? And we can go a step further and say friendships, because some of these are applicable to friendships as well, and a lot, any kind of relationship. And I think when you start to really look at them and dig deep into them, you start to realize what I'm talking about. So the first five were avoiding tough conversations, taking each other for granted, not expressing appreciation, bottling up anger or resentment, and then prioritizing everything over your partner or friend or mate or whoever. And I think if you just look at those 5 alone, and you can probably see how this can really hinder or just not be good in relationships. Good morning, Pops. That cannot be good in relationships. So I'm gonna open the floor up this morning because I love to hear. Marcus has been kind of joining us. He's been gracious enough to join us the last couple of weeks, and I really like his input, the input that he brings, and kind of a different mindset in some respects. And a lot of times he agrees with what we said, and sometimes he has his own different, or he likes to play like Lavelle, that devil's advocate. Lavelle good. Let me just play devil's advocate for a minute. So Marcus sometimes brings that little hint of devil's advocate. So I want to open the floor up this morning to him. Good morning, first of all, gentlemen, to both of you. And just see what you guys, based on yesterday's conversation in the first 5 that we went through, what are your thoughts surrounding these silent habits that kind of destroy relationships?
Okay. Since you opened the floor to me, I just want to first say, man, like again, I said it before, this is like therapy. And I actually see some of this stuff coming to fruition in my own life. Like my wife, Memorial Day was yesterday. The wife had asked me a question, and I was on my phone. I was like this, and I thought about it. Let me put my phone down. I know we're going to get to that part, but I was like, let me put my phone down. I remember seeing what we're going to talk about today, but it's like little things, man. If you could just build off some small things, it can make a big difference in your relationship and to better your whole situation. And like I said, man, this is like therapy. I enjoy it. I thank y'all. First of all, I want to say this too. Thank you, Tony and Lavelle, for allowing me to participate. I appreciate that too. And so that's all I wanted to share right now.
All right, Lavelle.
Well, I guess my thought process was that term or that word when it says destroy. That's a very strong term as it pertains to these particular key points, because like we said, sometimes we throw in the towel too, saying we don't fight for relationships. And so for this word to say destroyed and you're still in it, I mean it's alive, but it don't have any life, if you will. But if it's destroying the relationship about a marriage, that's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
That's a very strong term to use to say destroy. That means you get rid of it completely off of these particular action points.
Mm-hmm.
And do these action points actually, rivet some of that? Should we take care of these particular situations and try to talk about them and converse about them to not allow it to be destroyed? That should be the takeaway from this, me personally, because that word is destroyed, man. That's heavy.
When you said that, Lavelle, I was just thinking we got a lot of blind spots in our lives that sometimes we don't see. And these lists, man, help kind of shine some light in them little blind spots. So you don't destroy it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because like some of the stuff you can be doing, you don't, unknowingly doing it, you don't do it on purpose. So, because I think if it's gonna be destroyed, I think this is the thing of it. You're just seeing it and you're allowing it to happen. I mean, you're just being selfish at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because anything that you cherish and you love and you want it to be a part of your life, you're not gonna let it allow it to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Personally, you're gonna do something. You're gonna do something to fight for it. And these things may not happen all at the same time or occur. It might be this particular point today. It may be this next week. It may be this tomorrow. So you got to be able to try to work on it. So it's like we got to bring these things out. So
Yes, sir.
But
Good morning, Paulette. Monica says, I totally agree, cousin. The small things really help. Paying attention is small but big. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the silent. We're not talking about things that's maybe so obvious in
mhm.
a lot of cases. And when you say, like Lavelle said, destroy, that's a strong word, but that's what's happening. In essence, we're allowing small things that we're scared to address or say something about destroy our relationships. And it shouldn't be that way. Like if we can't have an open dialogue and talk and converse civilized about things that bother us or things that habits and things that uh can potentially harm our relationship, then what shit, if we're not willing to fight for that,
Right.
Facts.
because every situation that comes into your relationship is not going to be a huge fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Think about some of the small fights you'd have had just over. Man, me and Monkey had some arguments over remotes. Give me the remote now. That means just little stuff. And I don't really call it an argument. It's more like a little quick bickering,
Right.
But it's small things that if you allow it can infiltrate and literally destroy your relationship
So I guess my
if
thing
you
is
allow it to. And I
right.
think the key word in that, man, is if you allow it to.
I just said it when you came back on. And I guess my thing is it's a scripture in I think it's in the Old Testament that says it's the small foxes
That
that destroy the
destroy
vine.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
like you said, we let these little small things, destroy something that's so amazing, so powerful. Then I think
And
everybody can go back to the table.
and then if you are a person that allows something minute or small to disrupt the peace in your relationship or destroy your relationship, man, like really, like I have to question your entire motive in the relationship.
Now you're thinking too much like me today.
I'm
Stop
talking about
it.
like, I really have to sit back and question everything. Because if you're not willing to fight for something small, what are we really doing? Or if you think it's so small and minute that it has no relevance or no difference to me,
Mm-hmm.
like what are we really doing? Stephanie says destroy, put an end to. I'm telling you, that's a hard word.
I'll tell you, Doc.
It's hard, but when you look at this list, man, and I'm pretty sure there's probably a bunch of things that never even made this list.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So if you just think about the things that are on here, matter of fact, let's just jump on in here. 6. We see this one. We didn't talk about this one in some form, shape, form, or fashion over the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of physical affection. And that does not necessarily mean me just running up, sliding it in, but just the touch on your shoulder, the kiss on your lips, the kiss on your jaw, the hug, the physical affection, the lack of it.
Right.
Running on in there too.
So stupid.
That's a part of it. But
I said not just that. I'm looking at your face, man, and you like you included in there though. I'm dead over here. Stephanie said number 6, man. She put exclamation points behind that junk. And look, I think that this is where both people, especially in marriages and relationships, both the male and the female in the relationship, or male, female, however your relationship is. I think this is where everybody fails. Because for most men, like Marcus just alluded to, we consider the physical affection is the pop, 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 pow, bang, 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 bang. And for the women, it's the touch, the kiss, the hug, all of that. And we both lack because we don't have the time, we don't touch them, we don't kiss them, we don't do all this stuff, and then they don't want to give up the cuckoo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it could all be tied in together if you really think about it. It could be tied in together because if we lack the emotional intelligence to understand, come on in here, Holy Ghost. If we lack the emotional intelligence to understand that our mate, our woman needs to be touched, held, kissed, caressed. If we lack that, bro, that's how we lacking it.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look what Rodney said. The random slow dance out of nowhere. When was the last time, Marcus, that you just grabbed your wife, walked through the house, and just caressed her and started dancing with her?
Well, first of all, I don't know how to dance, but
but that's not the
I'm just
point.
joking.
No, that ain't that.
I know.
That ain't even the
I'm
point.
joking.
I don't care if you got 3 left feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's that.
No, that's important because actually my wife's love language is physical touch. And I was gonna share too, like sometimes I'd be rushing to get to work. If I'm running late, I might just shoot out and be like, I'll see you. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you when I get back. And I'd be shooting out. But one of the things she brought to my attention that she wants me to do is to give her a kiss before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
She feels a connection with that. So I was like, you know what? So it'd be times I'd be about to leave. I'd be like, let me go take that few seconds and run back and do that. Or if she in the kitchen or doing something, I'd like to touch her back.
Man, I'm loving these conversations.
So, but if you don't, but you know what? At the same time, you gotta be able to communicate with the partner that you with. So I could have missed that if she ain't said nothing, but when she said it, now I gotta act on it.
Yeah, and it's those things, man. And I'm so thankful to the guy, man, that we got this from that conversation we had, Lavelle, the gap. I'm so thankful because I don't think a lot of us think like that, especially men. We don't think like that. In the midst of issues in relationship, there's a gap in between that. When we're not connecting, communicating, touching, talking, it's a gap. And in that gap, a lot of stuff can happen in that gap.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you just said, Marcus, what if she never told you, I really like that kiss before you leave the house, right? And then you just kept going on, and she like, you know what? She ain't communicating. And then, hey, I know she worked from home, but let's say she out in the grocery store, she meet a dude, and he seems more affectionate. Man, that could be the start of something different. You see what I'm saying? And so we never want to put, I mean, and this works both ways, women. We don't want to never put our spouse, a partner, a mate in a predicament because of our lack. Hey, Stephanie says affection starts way before the bedroom. Yeah, we understand that. We talked about intimacy, and that it's not just in the bedroom. So and so I definitely think that we gotta we own something with this one. Paulette says number 2, thinking you can do whatever, say whatever, go wherever, and it's a problem for your mate. You need to stop, address the issue, and let it be known why. Taking each other for granted. Definitely said facts.
That sounded like it was coming from somewhere.
Man, what?
That sounded like it's coming from the heart.
But see, and that's because again, bro, I'm loving these conversations that we've had these last couple of weeks, because like we have to really dive deep into relationships to understand, or the lack of what we're doing in relationship, to really understand like how issues, man, like infiltrate. And a lot of time we invite those issues to infiltrate our relationships. We invite them.
Mm-hmm.
We invite those issues by sitting back, allowing stuff to fester, go unchecked, to go, like Paulette said. If you think you can do whatever, say whatever, go whatever, do, and we never stop to address the issue or let it be known why, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that in relationship. Friendship, same thing. If we just friends, Lavelle and I are friends. If I let a whole lot of stuff that bothers me with Lavelle go unchecked, I'm inviting the enemy right on in to come on in and just come on. Now, me and Lavelle, I didn't, it's some stuff I ain't pulled his coattail on, some stuff he ain't pulled my coattail on, and we just letting it go unchecked.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna happen eventually? It's gonna come to a head, and when it's come to the head, we're gonna say some stuff or do some stuff that we're gonna be like, man, we let that go way too far. We should have caught this. We should have put this, check this way back then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot in all
A lot.
Yep.
A lot.
And there'll be some small that explode to some big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at this list, these are, some of these things are silent, but some of them are not silent.
Mm-hmm.
They just destroy relationship, period. But some of them can be kind of silent, that like really like the constant phone distraction. We were out eating at Applebee's the other day, and Monica, when we got ready to sit down, she was going to sit across from me, and I was like, no, sit on side. I want you to sit next to me. And she was like, okay, babe, I'll sit next to you. So we sit next to each other. And she said, look, babe, just look around. And I looked around the room. Everybody in there, regardless of who they were sitting at the table with, whether they was a male, female, family, everybody was on their phone. Nobody was paying attention or talking to each other. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
These phones are sometimes distract. What did you say? You said I was doing something with my phone. You just said open it up. I was on my phone talking. My wife was saying something. You said, well, let me put this phone down.
Mm-hmm.
We got my daughter's graduation party coming this week, and man, if you know how women are, they want everything to be in order,
right?
And it's extremely important. I'm like, everything gonna work out. Relax. That's how I feel. But that ain't how she feels. She want things to be nice. This the house, that's her castle, the house.
Right.
So I might be on my game plan. It ain't that big of a deal to me. But she wanted to talk about what's going to be happening. And if I just stay on my phone and this is important to her, I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, you're dismissing. You're dismissing what she feel is relevant or important. And see, that's what we do with a lot of stuff, though, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's not important to us or not essential to us in a way. Monica the same way. If we getting ready to have an event at the house, bro, she gonna jump up, she cleaning, dust, and move. She know the floor is my thing. Like, yo, that's your thing. I need you to flip them bar stools up and take them things off the bottom of them and do the dust, mop the floor. But me, I'm like, I got time. And she be like, babe, come on now. We need to come on,
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
And my thing with the floors, is I want to wait till the absolute last minute because I understand our floors. But this is something I never really said to her. But I said, I understand our floor. We have these dark floors. Anything you walk over them, they track up easy. And so my thing is, I want to wait till the day of, an hour before, because that way at least I can keep the flow cool for an hour before people start to get there and walk. You know what I'm saying? because
Right.
they gon' track up the flow. It's part of it.
Mhm.
But to her, that's cutting it too close.
Mhm.
So Monk
I
says the
think too. Also, gentlemen, with some of these points, and we don't never really think about this. Some of this stuff we pick up and inherit from stuff that we didn't see in our family, and stuff that we did see in our family, whether it be our mother, our father, and we don't even know that we are even doing these things. And I know for a fact when it comes to like women, more likely they pick up stuff, real bad from some stuff from their mothers that they, saw their mom do that they don't even know that they doing.
right. Yeah,
And I
and
think
that's
that's a vital part too.
yeah. That happens. That happens. That really happens way more than we think.
When we was watching church on Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And she was like, when I say she into this event, making sure things is right, she was talking about it, service going on. She talking about, such and such. I was like, Martha, slow down, Martha. She was like, I get it.
But it's cool. It's
important
cool.
thing.
It's cool that y'all can talk about that, bro. And then really kind of make light of it and enjoy. You like and still be like, but you understand what I'm getting at. We need to get this done. You know.
Right. Soon as service over, it's right back.
Yeah. Stephanie says if it's a concern for her, it's a concern for the entire team, and vice versa.
Yep.
I agree. She said you preaching salt.
And Rodney, I saw your message, Rodney. I will.
Yeah, Rodney said give her 3 kisses.
Mhm.
Don't just give one. Let me see what the queen says. She says the phones are a huge distraction. We got to put the phones down and pay more attention to our loved ones. Start back having real conversations instead of being entertained or looking to be entertained. One day you will look back and realize time could have been used better. And I think that's where all the regrets come in. That like when you sit back and see people that can't do this and do that no more, you start looking it back over time and saying, man, I could have did that. Oh, I couldn't have when I was doing that. I don't want my life to be filled with regrets of coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Mhm.
I just don't want that, and that's why I live my life now. We travel like we want to. We do because I don't want to, get to a point in my life where I want to do stuff and I can't. I can say I can't do it now, but when I was younger, a little younger, I seen the world. You know what I'm saying? And I got memories that I can hold on to. But if I ain't never been, I ain't got nothing to hold on to.
Yeah, that one social media platform that I think is named perfectly is TikTok. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All it do is waste your time. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I ain't even thought about this.
TikTok.
I don't necessarily. I used to kind of feel like you did
Mhm.
until I realized that it's a platform. Like if you are an influencer, want to be an influencer, want to share or get information or whatever, like I get a lot of information from TikTok.
Mhm.
Like, when we would start, considering, moving abroad, bro, that's where I got a lot of information from TikTokers that live abroad. So
Mhm.
it really helped. Like, yeah, I'm with Stephanie on that one. It's that TV for me though. It's just the TV, bro. Cause the TV, man, all these reality shows, man, it's like
But the TV, the TV, everything is right there on everything here now. We can watch everything. You can do everything. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everything on your phone, on your tablet. You don't need no
but
TV.
we understand that and we do that, but a lot of people don't live here. A lot of elder people, older people, ain't finna go to their devices and watch a movie on their device when they sit there right in front of the TV. Like
That's
me,
true.
man. We sit there rolled in the car, and I had my phone on YouTube, and we done watch 3 stand-up comedians
Mhm.
and ride. So it I understand how to use my cell phone to do all that stuff, but a lot of people don't, and a lot of people don't even want to. They're
I
like,
was watching.
on my phone, I be trying to get I don't want all them apps on my phone.
Yeah, that's smart.
You know, so I get it. So let's jump back into this list,
That
man.
just
Cause
TikTok. It's just before you know it, an hour or 2 hours done pass or whatever. It's just within restraint is cool, but you got to be careful because it'll ease you right on in there. Next thing you know, a couple hours. While y'all was talking, I was thinking like I need to get back. What happened to family dinners? You know what I'm saying? Where y'all sit down at the table, no phones. I know you got an empty nest. I still got a couple birdies in the house. You know what I'm
now
saying?
Lavelle do too, and Lavelle talk about this all the time.
No phone dinners. We need to get back to that. What happened to that? Because you get to learn a whole lot of stuff at the dinner table.
stuff that's going on in their life, cause that's where and when we was younger coming up, that's where you learned or figured out what was going on with the children. Is you sit out at the table and then Mom, my friend Johnny, he got in trouble. What he do? Well, then you say, okay, Johnny might not be the cat you need to be hanging around. So it was stuff, or you just talked about stuff. Look, bro, I was so engulfed in working. I was a retail manager. I was so engulfed in working, bro, that I literally blinked. And one day we were sitting at the dinner table. I looked across the table and my daughter had boobs. I said, what in the fuck is going on? I literally like paused and said, when she get them? Like, what's going down? And I said, oh, I can't, this ain't working for me. I said, I gotta find me, if I'm gonna work retail, I gotta find me a retail that's not gonna take up so much of my time where I can't pay attention to what's going on in my house. The fact that she's developing into a woman right before my eyes, and I'm just not seeing it sitting across the table, and I'm in the house with her every day. What I tell you, Lavelle, you can be in the house every day and still not be present. I was not present. And at that point, I made a conscious decision to be present. And that point, I started making my business be at every event, every game. If I had to take off, switch shifts, whatever, to try to be there at all events, every game, everything, bro.
Clapping my hands for you because that means something to them.
Yeah. Stephanie, girl, you preaching this morning. She said they are strategically designed rabbit holes. Monica says regular family meetings help to stay in tune with what's going on in the household too. Yeah, we used to have regular family meetings. That's something that we started when our kids were slightly old. Well, they was probably preteens when we started having family meetings. And anybody could call a family meeting, and they would sit. And boy, they would call the family meeting where they want to raise an allowance. They wanted to go out with boys. They wanted cell phone. They called the family meeting. But we allowed them to express what they had to say, what they wanted to say, and do it. Paulette, you jumping way ahead of us, baby. We ain't got there yet. We're gonna get there. She on number 11. We still on 7, Paulette.
I'm glad she tuned in. She ain't got no.
She on that, John. She dissecting this list.
Telling us we're going too slow.
Yeah, we going too slow. Okay, let's get back to the list, guys. We moving too slow. All right, number 8. Expecting them to read your mind. Woo.
Right.
Woo. That's one of them silent ones. That's definitely a silent one. That's not communicating what your issue is, or what you feel like is going on, and expecting for me to just know that you got an issue and what the issue is. That's when you hear somebody say, "What you think I'm a mind reader? You think I can read your?" Monica said, "Ouch, I'm getting better though." You are, cause she definitely used to think I could read her mind, and I used to be like, "Man, look, I ain't read your mind."
That's why, man. Every
So
once in a while, I just, if I feel that something in the air, I look at something and something don't seem right. I be like, "You okay?
yeah, but
You okay?"
that's a different type of awareness, Lavelle, because now we're conscious. We're starting to be more conscious in our approach to our relationship. Everybody ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Everybody not there yet, and we still growing ourselves in that area. So when you talk about just being consciously aware, now I'm looking and I see body language, I see stuff, and I'm like, because Monica, like, if I'm dealing with some stuff and she think she may have something to do with it, she'll say, this is what she'll do. She'll say, "Hey, you okay?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm good." Then she'll say, "We okay?"
Right.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's my opportunity at that time. If it's something that I want to share and talk about, sometimes it's just me just dealing with life and just thinking about it and just going through the motions. It ain't nothing really, just life. Life is life. And but if it's something that, like, I feel like I need to address, then we finna have a conversation about it since you brought it up.
Yeah.
Since you asked me, let me go ahead on and but nah, I ain't one to hold like that. Like, I'm gonna pretty much tell you, like I said the other day, if I got an issue, we're gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna hold it for no days and weeks.
Right.
Did anybody want to add something to that lack of, that expecting them to read your mind?
I kind of talked about it a little bit already, with the situation. If I don't know you want that kiss,
Yeah.
then I'm out the door, because my love language is going out there and doing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm loving you that way,
Right.
because I'm going out there handling business, bringing him home.
Right.
But that's mine. That ain't hers. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, but provision is holistic though. Provision ain't just making sure everything paid for at the house. Provision is providing that affection. Provision is providing that security, providing being there. We don't think about provision as, I mean, I'm going out here to get it. Provision
Right.
goes so much bigger than that.
Right.
mhm.
Yeah, and that's true.
And
That's
then,
absolutely true.
right. And then, like, just making sure you understand what the other person wants. And I agree with you 100%, Lavelle, about that provision. But that the women definitely, they be wanting that they want to be provided for, protected, and sometimes our minds can just get zoned into that area, and you got to be able to see everything that's happening. So,
But sadly, though, this what this generation has been for the last, I'd say, 15 to 20 years has been built upon. I gotta, do you make six figures? What you drive, and what I'm saying, what kind of, do you wear designer brand this and da 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 da. That don't mean nothing, because that stuff it's gonna fade away, bro. Come on, like
Yeah,
I get $100,000 a year today, and then we got this ugly ass dude in the office, and I lose my job because I work for the government. Come on, bro.
right.
Like, are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Who you with?
And that stuff will fade, like you said, Lavelle. That stuff will fade, man. Like, if you with me just for what I can provide, like that for you, then shit, I'm with the wrong one.
Man, come on,
For
bro.
sure. Stephanie says have frequent come to Jesus meetings. She said, "Come on now," and she said, "Women want to be effectively led too." Okay. That, you know what? We ain't gonna dig into that one, because that's a topic for a whole nother day. That's definitely a topic, because Stephanie, how you may want to be led, effectively be led. It's a lot of women don't. It's a lot of women, they walking around here, they got more testosterone than me. We talk about femininity and masculinity, and you got a lot of women that's walking way too much in their masculinity than their femininity. And vice versa. You got some men walking way too much in their femininity as opposed to their masculinity.
Yep.
And so you got some women that understand that if my man is following God, then hey, he can lead me. But you got some women that say, I don't care who he following. He ain't my daddy. He ain't my, you know what I'm saying? They hit you with all that stuff. And I don't know real man want to hear you ain't my daddy. If I'm trying to lead this family and guide this family and offer my provision, protection, security, my love, my all of this. We ain't trying to hear that. The biggest thing men want, and we done did this poll so many times. What's the number one thing that a man has to have?
Respect.
Respect. We'll put respect over love. We can deal with you probably not loving us as long as you respect us.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like this right here, but can you have two heads in the house?
Yeah, that's what I was going to put up there.
Yeah. See, you got some men that are so egotistical till they throw that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm ahead of this. I'm ahead of. I don't. To me, because we come from a lot of folk come from that old school, you know what I'm saying, regimen, if you will, a regime, and you know they try to throw their weight around. This stuff is old, and it was old then. Because my thing is, you know, if I got to listen to my wife, and she's gonna lead me into the right direction, it don't have nothing to do with me being the head of the house. She's helping me at this moment. You know what I'm saying?
But what
ass head and say, I ain't listen to you, I'm the head, I run this stuff. And
you gotta have one head. That's it.
But I think
one head.
This is different right here, Lavelle. Like I get what you saying.
You know what I'm about to say, Lavelle? You only can have one head in the house.
Yeah. See, I'm like,
and
it's only one head in the household. It's one head. Now, but just because I'm the head of the household, don't mean I can't listen to the wise counsel from my wife.
Right.
So that's what you're talking about. See, asking, can it be two heads? No, it's one head.
One.
But I can listen
up
to
there,
the
though.
counsel from my wife because there are some things my wife might be familiar with or understand that I have no damn clue.
Right.
And for me to say I'm the head and I ain't gonna listen to you is dumb as hell. You know,
we can't discard the fact that it says, and the two shall become one, and that word "become" is a continual thing. So, because what's going to happen after y'all be together for so long, I ain't even thinking about me being the head of the household because Monica almost.
But it's just a natural order. I guarantee you, what like in your situation now, Don respects you as the head of the household, regardless of who make the most money, you're the head of the household. And she's gonna respect, even though you're gonna respect whatever she brings to the table in terms of her ideals and all of that, but you're still the head of that household. If you say, Don, we're gonna do this, she's gonna say, she might have her input and say, but as the head, I believe I follow you, you the head. This is Monica. Monica recognized me as the head of the household. It's one head. Now, can she offer her input and give advice? Oh, absolutely. And I'll be again foolish, not foolish to reject the counsel of wise counsel that's coming to me.
But I think what happens is because some men can be so egotistical when it comes to this particular terminology that we're using, we miss out because we think that.
Now they miss out.
I'm just saying
they miss out.
Yeah, they miss out.
They stupid.
Stubborn. So many things that they are.
Yeah. And I see what Lavelle said. I see what Lavelle saying. You know, some people be taking their head like, you got to do what I say.
Yeah.
That's it. What I say, go. And that ain't it. But I'm a big believer that
personally, bro, I've seen it with particular marriages, man,
Me
it's
too.
like the wife be walking around on eggshells. I understand. She's not. In other words, she supposed to be beside you, not up under you. You know what I'm saying? You over usurping your authority, if you will. It shouldn't. She got to be. You should respect her individuality as being a part of who you all want becoming in their marriage. But my thing, you got some of you guys, man. I'm talking about, I don't see relationships, and the wife just be like, you be at a family function.
Yeah, but I don't really. I get what y'all saying, and I definitely understand. Like, you know, you got some dudes be on these power trip, but I don't even. That ain't even the person I want to highlight. I don't even want to take this platform and highlight that individual.
Oh no, I ain't highlighted.
I'm just saying, like
saying
that individual is out of order for me. He out of order, and if a woman is not allowing her man to lead her effectively in a way where, and sometimes listen to this. Well, what about the man that don't understand how to lead effectively, and then his wife is kind of guiding him and pushing him and trying to push him in the right? Because every man don't have the ability to understand how to lead effectively.
correct.
You know, one thing too is that a wise woman would do is they allow that man to lead, and that's why it's so important before you pick your mate. Make sure you pick the right one that can lead you, because if that man is following Christ, you need to follow him as we follow Christ. And when, but here's the thing that I know my wife does, and she does it, and she's super wise about it. Is it's sometimes I might be like, I feel like this is the best way we go, and I could be wrong, but I'm like convicted with it. I feel like this is the right way. She'll go to God about it, and guess who started dealing with me?
He'll convict you.
God started dealing with me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I did get that right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to listen more to my wife. So I'm gonna take back what I said about a man being stupid. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna retract that.
Okay.
He's not stupid. He's misinformed.
I like that.
He's misinformed. And because we can be, if I've never had the example of how a real man is supposed to lead, I'm going off my own understanding and interpretation of what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And I could try to lead my household based on that interpretation. Now, this is where the wise woman would come in at, Marcus. She says he don't really have a clue in how to really lead us effectively, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna leave little subtle hints, little hints and stuff to help guide him where he can pick up, or I'm gonna give him things to do, but give him the credit like he thought of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, a wise woman, bro, gonna stroke your ego and make it like you would think you done it all the time. That's why they tell you sometimes behind every good man is a good woman. Stands a good woman. Or beside every good man, there's a good woman. So that's where that comes in at, bro. That's where that whole ideology and concept comes from, because you ain't got a clue until she's saying he got a, he understand he's supposed to be the lead and lead us, but he just don't know how to do it. So let me just kind of help steer him the right way until he get it.
And the other thing too, gentlemen, is that we got to understand that this marriage thing, relationship thing, it's work. A lot of these people, man, they just think that this stuff just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's work, and it's the type of work that, like when you was in school, in order to get some extra credit, if you will, you had to do some extra work. And I think a lot of times with the distractions with these key points is if we're not doing the work, that's when we have to try to come up with the extra credit.
Facts. Facts, LeVelle.
Extra credit.
Yeah, Doc.
Alfreda says, my husband follow God and I follow my husband. You can't really go wrong with that one. Stephanie said, I'm telling they secrets. All right, let's go on. That expecting them to read your mind, boy, is something else. That this is an absolute no. Number 9, absolute positive no. Comparing them to others. Comparing your mate to somebody else, comparing your friend to other friends, comparing your husband to other men, and vice versa. That's an absolute no.
Man,
That's
when you
one
come
way.
to man, I'm like Prince. No one compares to you.
Man, if you want me to shut down, start talking about comparing me to some other dude.
Man, or you want me to go?
That's what I'm saying. I'm to shut down. Like I'm checking out. I'm checking out. Like, and it's like I've never really understood even the concept behind a woman saying or a man saying, my other woman used to do that. My mama cook it this way. I ain't your mama, nigga.
Right. And you know how you talk about respect, Tony? If you was to compare me to another dude, that's disrespectful.
Stephanie said that'll get you them walking papers.
You know? Man.
Hey, quick.
Or your daddy.
Man, what? Marcus said, hell no. Number 9, hell no to the no.
Dang
it. So we know number 9 is not a silent one. That's one of them. I said not a silent, and that's something that's a no. All right, number 10, not making time for each other. I think this is
all
really,
of them pretty much together.
Yeah, I think this is really important because we can get so caught up, like Marcus said. I'm out here providing, trying to sell these houses, trying to get this money so I can have, and we can get so caught up in the day-to-day that we just really forget to make time for each other. And that's why you have to plan them date nights and let's just go out to this, let's just go to eat, let's go to the movies, let's just do this, that's just me and you, let's just take us a weekend getaway, let's just do this, let's just, you got to make time for each other. And this is another one of them I think is applicable to friendships, because if you're my friend and every time I'm trying to 9 times out of 10, if Lavelle is having a gig in my area or close to my house, he gonna call me to see if we at home.
And y'all ask me out of town every time it happens.
We don't be here, but he called. Y'all at the grill? I was doing a gig right over by y'all house. He gonna call.
Yep.
At least call. See, he trying to, even though we be out of town or whatever we be, he's trying to connect on that end and make, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it's all about, like trying to make time for each other. Not that me and Lavelle be like on that kind of tip, but we ain't like that now. Don't get it twisted. For you outside viewers that just don't understand Lavelle and I's relationship.
Right.
So y'all close?
Hey. Stephanie said, what you feed is what will grow. It's an investment. Come on in here now.
That's good. All right.
Come on in here now.
All right,
Stephanie. Man, I'm richer in spirit and a lot of things because of the relationship that I built with Tony and the relationship I'm building with Marcus currently. You know what I'm saying? Now I can go to that person and ask about X, Y, Z, da. Relationship is currency. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Monica said making positive memories are important. Time is something you can't get back. Can't get it back. Once it's out there. Now this is the one, Miss Paulette. Let me go back. Let me find Miss Paulette. Because Miss Paulette, she jumped on 11 quick. She said, number 11, corrective criticism is good only if you let them know how to look better and be better.
Mm-hmm.
I think corrective criticism, because number 11 says criticizing more than complimenting. Corrective criticism and criticizing more than complimenting, I think is a little different. It's a little different.
It was a guy that was on the podcast one time. He didn't say constructive criticism. He said creative criticism. I was like, wow, that's different. You know what I'm saying? In other words, I'm gonna take a negative and make it a positive.
Yeah. If I'm criticizing you more than I'm complimenting you, she gonna shut down because she gonna be like, you ain't never got nothing good to say about me. Everything you say is negative about me.
Let me ask y'all a question. Because I know me personally, I purpose in my heart to make sure I compliment and I criticize. But sometimes all they hear is the criticism and not the
that's selective hearing.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can say 5 and 5, but you really got to do like 8 and 2 or 9 and 1.
No, yeah, I would say more like 9 and 1. 9 compliment and 1 criticism.
Right.
I don't even want to say criticize, critique, because boy, you use the word criticize or what, man.
Right. And it's how you say it.
And I can honestly say and have a transparent moment. And I probably, if Donnie is listening, she hear me saying this, she's gonna be like, wow. But I think sometimes we be too sensitive when it comes to certain areas. And when they try to make that particular situation better, they come to shutdown pod. We don't be conditioned to hear it, if you will.
But DeVea, women are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
Men are wired different. Like we might hear the criticism and be like, man, what the hell are you talking about? But the woman, they take that to heart, bro. They emotional creatures. What do you mean? Why? She heard the 8 positive things you just said, like Marcus said. She only heard that one bad thing that you had to say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you to say, baby, I just told you 8 great things that I love about you, and the one thing that
you want to hear what I didn't say.
You have to listen. Don't have selective. I mean, but I think that's a point you pointed out, Marcus, and say, hey, wait a minute. I just gave you. You didn't even. I just gave 8 beautiful things about you, and you only heard the one thing that I said we need to work on. We need to correct. This one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happens is we don't address it right away because we just immediately try to go to the critique, and we don't say, wait, let's wheel this on back in. Let's I just gave you 8, told you 8 things that I really love about you, and this one thing is just the kind of thing that can, what about the 8 beautiful things? You hopping on the one thing, but these 8 should overshadow this one thing. This one thing is just something that needs to be worked on, but these are the 9 beautiful things that I love about you.
That's that 80-20 rule. You know what I mean? You can't mention that 20 too much. But you gotta, but you know what? That's where you had that number 1. That number 1 and number 11 is major. You know what I'm saying? So being able to have and then too, that's a skill on how you say something too.
Right.
You can't just say, you don't do this.
Right. Yeah, of course. It has to be said
Tony
right.
Did it just now. Tony tone just came down and he said it softly.
Right.
And because they are emotional.
Yeah, because if my voice is elevated and I'm talking now in the high-pitched voice, that shows the stress in my voice, and that I'm now, and then that's she's gonna elevate, right? And so now you got an argument instead of a conversation. And
I'm laughing because I'm thinking like you could go like this, baby, you smell good, look good, taste good, but you don't cook.
Okay, man.
She gonna hear.
You
She
done
gon'
lost
she gonna
all
hear
the other part. You know what I'm saying?
all she gonna hear is, but you don't cook,
Especially
because
how
way
you
you
say it.
said it.
I emphasize
Yeah.
how you say
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Good morning, Cheryl. Stephanie said, right, Marcus.
it.
All right, number 12. Y'all can't see it on the screen, but number 12 says keeping secrets, even small ones. That's
Ooh-wee.
another no.
Hold up, talk to me about that one, because some small stuff don't need to be said.
No, it depends if it's a secret about, and it pertains to your relationship.
Oh,
That's yeah. But if it's something that maybe you done when you was a child, it's something you like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
taking this to the grave with me, and then somebody in your family bring it up. I mean, we ain't talking about that. You know.
Okay.
But when you're talking about trying to keep secrets from each other, and it could be something as simple as I can't even think of no simple stuff, but it could be something that, you know, like maybe let's say, now what you don't want,
I got one.
we had a whole Clock the Tea segment where a lady got married to a man, and before she got married, she had plastic surgery, like major plastic surgery that transformed her whole face, everything. She looked like a gorilla. Nah, I ain't gonna say that about that lady. She looked horrible prior to. And so what made the man question, because they had a baby. And the baby came out looking like her before the surgery.
Wow.
And he trying to figure out who baby is this, because the baby don't look like me or you.
Old girl had to do some more work too, though. She had to discard some pictures. I mean, did he even meet her mom and dad? Because 9 times out of
I
10,
don't
mom
know.
and dad are just ugly as she is.
But the baby was that ugly to the man was like, oh, this ain't my baby. It don't look like you. And look, because she had so much work done. When he saw the old picture of her, bro, he was like, I'm out of here. Matter of fact, he sued her. He sued her, right? When he trying to sue her.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he was trying to sue her.
Yeah. That's the ultimate catfish right there, Doc.
Yeah. So that ain't no little secret. That's a big secret. So anyway, we shouldn't be withholding information from our mate.
I got one. You know, as far as like hold on.
Oh Lord.
Right. But it got quiet in there for some reason. But I'm thinking, like, sometimes I call home, like, you know, honey, you know, what you make for dinner? And if it's something that I don't really want, I might go grab me a little bite to eat.
You so stupid.
You keeping food secrets. You out here keeping food secrets. Oh man, I did. That's crazy, bro. Let me see what Monka say. Then we're gonna clock that T. Then get out of here. Monka says number 11 depends on what it is. The struggles women face may be medial to men. Medial. What is medial? Medial to men, but huge to us. If you know she is sensitive in a certain area, aim to compliment her more in that area. For example, weight. You better not call us fat and we struggling and striving to lose weight. Or if she's learning to cook and you tell her the food is nasty instead of finding something positive to say about the food or the F. I get that. I definitely get that.
You know what? That don't go for everybody though. I say that not all relationships. I gotta share what my sister told me one time. My brother-in-law came. They was in the bathroom. He was taking a bath in the bathroom, and she came walking in with no clothes on, and he said something strong, something real strong, and he said, "I don't want a fat wife," and
Ooh.
she said it hit hard, and she made an adjustment and changed.
Yeah, but it normally
But he
don't come
said it
like
like in
that.
no mean way, but he said, "I don't want no fat wife." But he said it, and it got her attention, and it worked for them. So we can't
Nah,
say
that
everything
could be a killer.
crosses all boards.
No, dog. He better be glad he said it to the right woman, because
Yeah,
The right woman.
that's a silent. That'll hurt a woman feeling to the point she shut all the way down, bro.
But he probably might have said it in other ways. It just didn't
Yeah.
get the attention to that day. And
Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
it made a change, and they doing good.
all right. This one for you, gentlemen.
Ooh, that's deep, Stephanie.
Should the body counts be a secret?
You coming with a vengeance, Steph. It ain't nobody business.
I'm gonna say absolutely should be a secret. Absolutely, positively should be a secret. That's one of those things you should take with you to your grave.
And you want to
Just
lose it real
know
quick.
this, beautiful, that you captured me. I ain't worried about them other bodies no more. How many they is?
If you want to
Yeah,
lose it
yeah,
real quick,
you gotta take that one to your grave, Steph.
None of them bodies matter no more.
only time it shouldn't be a secret is if the man knows them. And they friends.
You gotta go listen to that Gerald Levert song. Say, "I was made to love you." And that'll break it down for you.
Let's clock this T, man, cause y'all we finna be on something else.
Oh dear.
Let me put this plug in before I clock this T, cause we're gonna close out on Queen clocking the T. Man, tomorrow, man, we have our special guest gonna be on tomorrow, man. Y'all might wanna let me see. I can't do this. Let me see. I can do this. Anyway, Lavelle you had a thing with the author we're gonna have on, Chancellor Jackson. Chance.
I think did I delete it? I think I deleted
it. His name is Chancellor K. Jackson. He's a young guy from ATL who was teaching abroad in Beijing and ended up going to jail in China.
I thought it said something else, man. I said
it
says Beijing.
It says 14 days in Beijing. 14 days. So I started reading this last night, and I'm almost halfway through.
It's good.
Bro, when I tell you I was scared for this dude, bro, petrified. Yeah, there you go. That's Chancellor Jackson, author. We're gonna have him on. He's gonna be our special guest tomorrow, man. Marcus, you welcome if you want to jump in to kind of jump in, and if you got questions for him. But he made a poor decision, and be honest, man, it could have went a whole different way than he went. He was really blessed and lucky for how it kind of turned out for him. So that's gonna be our special guest tomorrow. Y'all tune in. Locked up in Beijing. Man, being locked up abroad, man, and nobody knew where he was. Nobody. Don't even barely speak Chinese or Mandarin, and you in jail, and they speaking Chinese and Mandarin around you. So, yeah. All right, let's clock that T with my girl Queen.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that T with your girl Queen Watkins. I hope y'all but y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that T. Have y'all heard of the story of Miss Pauline Brown? Talk about it. When I heard this story out, I promise you, it gave me the idea of a Madea movie because of what happened. So Miss Pauline Brown, she's 70 years old. She is retired Marine, okay? So she went to Target in Bloomsville, and she was trying to turn into a handicap spot when there was two people that cut her off. Two Caucasian men, so we're gonna call them Billy and Bob because I don't know their name. They cut her off and got into the spot. Yeah. Miss Brown wasn't going. So she sat there and waited for 2 hours until they came out. So Miss Pauline went ahead and asked the driver, she said, "Are you handicapped?" And he goes, "No." And she pum in both legs and said, "Now you are." So then Miss Pauline proceeded to go into the store and get what she needed to get out the stove. She wasn't finna waste her time, baby. She came to the stove. She gonna go in and get what she need. So when she comes out, she see the police and they're telling her to stop. Miss Brown don't understand why she gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? So she ended up pewing at the police, y'all. She wasn't going. So when they, questioned her and patted her down or whatever, Miss Brown had a bulletproof vest on. Do you hear me? And when they questioned her, she said because of the Sonia Massey situation, she felt like she had to defend herself and protect herself because she is tired of all this stuff going on, y'all. Miss Brown is tired of being messed with for real. I'm so sorry, y'all. She is not going, and she was 70 years old. Sadly, she did unalive one of the police officers when she started pewing at them. Sadly, she did unalive one of them. But moral of the story is stop taking people parking spots because you never know how somebody is going to react. Just like road rage. You never know how somebody's going to react. And I'm one of them. I don't have the best road rage. I'm not the best person. I will talk that mess in traffic for real. I'm still working. I'm still praying on it. But you never know how people will react, y'all. And Miss Brown is 70 years old. They just say, stop cutting people out. Stop playing with folks because Miss Brown wasn't going. Yeah, I want to put her in the same situation as people have previously been in. Shit. All right, y'all. That's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Minute Hits Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins Clock. That's it. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Why, when she was explaining that, all I saw was Medea?
Right.
She said it seemed like
You said it in
somebody
the
on
beginning.
Tyler
All
Perry
right.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe she, like, okay, she shot the dude and went on there and did her stuff, but to come out and shoot at the police and they not shoot her.
Man.
I mean, unalive her.
Wow.
Queen said, Monica said, "Wait, what?" She said, "Queen, the moral of the story is what?"
I mean, we laughing, but she
Go
right.
by the
You
pocket
got to
spot.
be careful who you dealing with out here.
Yeah.
There's some
And
people
that's
mentally got some mental issues.
yeah. Cause that lady, that's one of them. I'm fed up. And when you get people who say I'm fed up, that anything is possible. Anything is possible when you hear that I'm fed up. So thank you, Queen. That man, I don't know where she gets this stuff from, but she finds it, she brings it to us, and we appreciate her, man. Clocking that tea.
I don't think
Thank you
she
again for being on, man. We enjoyed you as usual. I'm over, y'all. I gotta get out of here. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Man, another great story. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for our special guest, Chancellor K. Jackson. And we're going to talk about his book. Actually, he has several books, but we're going to talk about this one in particular because I'm reading. I wish I had got a chance to give Lavelle a copy so we could have really just hopped on. But I'm pretty sure that question is going to come up during this interview as to why maybe he did what he did and what was he thinking. So, but he goes, and when I tell you, he goes into full detail in this book, like from the time the situation happened, every step of the way, from day 1 to day 2, day 3, day 4 in jail, every day, every conversation, every thought he had. And so he really puts you there in prison with him. So shout out to him, man. We're looking forward to him being with us tomorrow. Again, man, thank you guys so much, man. Lavelle, come on, give us your thoughts and prayers out, bro.
I'm always thinking of something how to close out on, and we don't listen to a lot of these older songs like we used to. But when we talked about that word "destroy," it's a song that was out by the group called Special Delivery, and the song says, "I destroyed your love for me." And then one of the particular lyrics, I can't read all of it because we got to get out of here. It says that he said, "I made you a victim of my insecurity." So you got to work on yourself so that you won't destroy the love that God has blessed you with. I don't care how much you want that person to build you up and celebrate you. If you ain't celebrating yourself, it's gonna be a hard road to go down. So yeah, that's it. That's the closeout. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Tony. Stephanie was very active today.
Yeah, come on in here, Stephanie. We appreciate that.
Appreciate you being on, man. One time we go back like 4 flats and Cadillacs. For sure. All right, let us pray. Most gracious eternal God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity for life, for just giving us health and strength. Lord God, we thank you for just being God and being God all by yourself. Thank you for Tony's family. Thank you for Marcus' family. Continue to bless all their efforts, and thank you for my family. Continue to bless relationships and families and marriages, to be the wholesome, holistic marriage and relationship, and people won't be scared to work on their relationships and their marriages, so their marriages and relationships won't be destroyed. We want healthy and wholesome marriages and relationships, and we thank you for giving us a platform to discuss these opportunities to be better. And we ask you to do all these things in your darling son Jesus' name, and we said amen.
Amen, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same bad time. Too many hats. Let's talk about it.
The Too Many Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.